today.
Is Aaron Rodgers up to today?
You know what? In defense of Aaron Rodgers, this one is actually coming courtesy of Sean Payton. Boy, is this coach the gift that keeps on giving. He's in front of every microphone these days, now part of the media. But the latest was him talking on the NFL Rhodes Show podcast. Lindsey Rhodes does a fantastic job, and he was a little fed up with Aaron Rodgers being critical of the young receivers.
Drives me crazy. Here's the thing. I didn't think he played well. I didn't think Aaron played well. And then after the game, we go to the interview in the locker room, and the very first question posed to Aaron was about bouncing back, and he referenced the first play of the game, the drop pass to the rookie, and I thought, come on. And I like Aaron Rodgers, but I didn't like what I saw. Every once in a while, all of us need to be checked, don't we?
How about that? Sean Payton not going to be bowing down to Aaron Rodgers, saying Aaron Rodgers has got to get checked. He did not play well in that game, so stop blaming the young receivers.
Yeah,
Fire from Payton.
I guess Payton will not be taking a Green Bay job.
No.
That's right. He did say he wanted a warm weather job, so Green Bay is probably out. That is not mincing words.
No, I like it. I mean, he goes on the record about Rodgers. I just don't know if it's necessarily fair. So, like, we've been this is the thing about Rodgers now. He's such a Rorschach test. Like, everything he says, you kind of see what you want to see about it, right? He's being asked about young receivers a lot, so he's answering. And for the most part, Perloff, I actually think he's being pretty measured and pretty honest. Like, listen, you know, drops are going to happen. Mistakes are going to happen. You hope later on in the year the pressure's going to get more. You can't see the drops then. But I don't know, unless he's, like, totally screaming at these guys behind the scenes or something like that, I don't really see a problem with how he's handled the young receivers in the media.
Well, he was caught on the sideline, being visibly frustrated, which, again, the sideline heat of the moment.
During a game, you can't blame guys for stuff like that.
This is Peyton's first season in the media. I would just warn everybody, be very careful dismissing anything Aaron Rodgers says early in the season, because he usually ends up being right.
Yeah.
They struggle, and the famous one was RELAX.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not to be messed with. So you're right. I don't want to side against Aaron Rodgers here, because he usually figures it out. And I understand what Peyton is saying. It did sound like he sold Christian Watson out a little bit. But maybe Rodgers is trying to figure this out. And I think the guys will get better, right?
They have to. I mean, it doesn't get any worse for that kid. I mean, he knows it's bad. And Rodgers even said that on McAfee. He's like, listen, I don't have to say anything to him after. He knows he dropped it. It's going to happen. It's just how do you respond? So I actually think Rodgers has handled this pretty well. I mean, the whole, like, oh, guys should be taking notes when I'm talking is maybe a little whatever. But, like, he's also in his 18th season.
Tough love.
Maybe he feels like they can handle it.
I think so. I think he's been pretty good with these young guys. He seems to say nice things. Every time he says something mean, he's acting like a teacher. Like, he's giving these guys some bitter medicine when he thinks they need it, some positive when he thinks they need it.
I
mean, will it all work out? I have no idea. That's a completely different story.
I don't know, but I'm loving this version of Sean Payton, that's for sure.
I do have a bone to pick with Mr. Perloff here. I mean, he's been getting on me for this Wilson. He keeps calling Sean Payton Payton, and I think he's talking about Peyton Manning. You can't call Sean Payton Payton. Can't do it.
What would you call him?
I don't know, Sean Payton, I guess.
Is Sean Payton a must first name, last name? I think you're right.
Every time you say Peyton Manning, I think immediately of Peyton Manning.
It is one of Perloff's pet peeves.
Yeah, I don't know.
That you cannot call Russell Wilson just Wilson, because Perloff will think you're talking about Zach.
But here's the thing.
But no one else will.
So Sean Payton, you're saying you can't call him Sean. That's not even in the discussion.
No. I think
so you're saying it has to be one word, Sean Payton.
No, I think you got to go first name, last name.
Sean Payton, that's a mouthful if you're talking about it.
3 syllables. It's the same as Russ Wilson.
Yeah, he's not TJ Houshmandzadeh.
So think about it. Say, my problem with Sean Payton is this, and then keep saying Sean Payton, Sean Payton, Sean Payton. That's not that easy. It's not like Cam.
So you have to do it with Russ Wilson, but not. Or
well,
I guess
Russ,
you just call him
you
Russ.
just go Russ or Russell. I don't know. Sean Payton is a lot to say over and over again. I don't see it.
I get what you're saying, but every time I heard you saying Peyton just now, I'm like, did we switch to Peyton Manning? We're talking about the Manning cast? What just happened?
Did you really?
I mean...
You were the one who cut the sound. Did you really think I was talking about Peyton Manning?
You found the sound. You alerted us to the sound that it existed, and
I was screening
edited
a
it.
call, and I wasn't sure. Maybe we switched topics.
Why are we doing Peyton Hillis being on the cover of Madden that one year right now? I don't understand.
Remember that year?
Yeah, we're talking about Walter Payton, how he used to jump over the puck. Get out of here.
855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. All right, so Aaron Rodgers, what do you make of it? Are you with Sean Payton that he's, should take a little more accountability or a lot more accountability for how he played week one as opposed to pointing the finger at these young receivers? Also, big show debate. If you could host Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune, which one would it be? Perloff, Jeopardy, of course. Me, Wheel of Fortune. Think about it. It's the much more fun show. 855-212-4CBS. See you guys. We'll get to you in just a moment. Coming up, steak and lobster was just the beginning. How did Texas woo Arch Manning? A new report explains it all. We'll get to that in a minute. Don't move. Maggie and Perloff, CBS Sports Radio, CBS Sports Network, Sirius XM Channel 158, and the free Odyssey app.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Get ready for week 2 with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. This week, new customers can bet just $5 on any football game, Perloff, and get $200 in free bets instantly.
Plus, everyone can experience the thrill of DraftKings early win promotion. It's simple. This Sunday, bet on any NFL team to win. If your team leads by 10 at any point during the game, you get paid instantly.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code MMP to get $200 in free bets instantly when you place a $5 bet on any football game. That's code MMP from Maggie and Perloff, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be present in state where lawful to wager. 21 plus in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Tennessee, call or text the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Bonus issued as free bets. One early win token issued at opt-in. Moneyline bets only. Deposit and wagering restrictions apply. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/football terms.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, please, have a seat. So here's the thing. When this company brought you on, we took a chance on you. You didn't have that 4-year college degree we typically look for.
Right.
But we gave you a shot anyway. And since then, you've worked incredibly hard and given it your all.
Thanks.
You've been an important asset to the team, but I don't think you can be an intern here anymore. We want to hire you.
You're serious?
Absolutely.
Find your next great employee. Introduce yourself to the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
I won't let you down.
I know.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Did you know there's a place where you can get good neighbor service and surprisingly great rates on home and auto insurance? Yep, and that place is, ta-da, State Farm. Here's the deal. State Farm agent Austin Hardy is your go-to agent in the Middle Tennessee community for the service you desire at the price you want. So stop shopping around. State Farm agent Austin Hardy has you covered. Call 615-810-9999 for your surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Habit Inspected Property Solutions is on the air saluting the brave men and women of our U.S. military. Their tireless efforts should never go unnoticed. This proud salute is brought to you by Habit Inspected Property Solutions, veteran-owned and operated for all your general home inspection needs. Call 615-527-8113. That's 615-527-8113. Habit Inspected Property Solutions. They're people who care.
This is the Greg Pogue and John Burton Show.
Mickey Yates is here, ladies and gentlemen.
As a fan of both of the men, this is the place to be. Do you want to know about sports? This is the place to be. Listen to John and Greg. This is it.
Wow, that was awesome.
I quit.
Yeah, I'm done. That's a mic drop.
Greg Pogue and News Channel 5's John Burton, WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Much more. There's a reason why Omaha Steaks has been the leader of gourmet steaks since 1917. No one, and I mean no one, comes close to matching the flavor, tenderness, and value of Omaha Steaks. Go to omahasteaks.com and enter Sizzle into the search bar. You'll get a special price on the All-American assortment, and as a tasty bonus, you'll also get 12 ultra-juicy Omaha Steaks burgers for free. That's omahasteaks.com, keyword Sizzle.
It's a Bill King Show, weekday mornings at 6, Nashville Sports Radio, 560 WNSR on 95.9 FM.
Back on Maggie and Perloff. You can go to our Twitter feed at Maggie and Pearl. Vote on one of our polls, which is, would you rather host Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune? I don't get it. And this should be 90-10 Jeopardy.
No, and Pat Sajak said he's might be close to the end here.
Yeah.
And so this job might be open, and I go Wheel of Fortune all day.
I mean, obviously Jeopardy's winning, but it should be a complete... I can't even believe it's close. Wheel of Fortune?
Because people want to have a good time, Perloff. They don't want to sit around and think about quantum physics, you know? Why don't we just pick some vowels and consonants?
Every celebrity on Earth lined up to try to be the next Jeopardy host. Anybody you've ever heard of tried out for it, and it was such a big deal, and everyone followed it. Is it going to be like that?
Everyone wants to be like, oh, look at me, I'm so smart. But who wants to party like Pat Sajak and Vanna have been doing all these years?
Yeah, I don't know.
Plus, you get a big wheel to spin.
Can you see Aaron Rodgers being like, I really want to host Wheel of Fortune?
You know what? If he plays like he did in week 1, he might be hosting Wheel of Fortune. Kidding. Let's go to the phones. 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. How about Phil's in Colorado? Phil, how are you?
Hey, I'm good.
What's on your mind, bub?
So I was going to chime in on the Wheel of Fortune Jeopardy thing. I 100% agree with you. Wheel of Fortune's way more fun. It's more laid back. It's not all uptight and hoity-toity.
Thank you. Yeah, not like, Perloff over here, 17th century English lit. Like, who cares?
You can just guess. It's fun. You might not be there for like a week. I think you can only win once now. They used to let you stay for a week in the 90s, but now they kept it out. But yeah, that's my input for today.
Yeah, well, thank you, Phil. That's great input. Appreciate that. I think he was about to say something else, and I cut him off.
Well, hold on. The only time we ever actually talk about Jeopardy, outside of figuring out who the new host is going to be, is like when somebody goes on this long run.
Yeah,
like
Ken Jennings.
And who's the other guy? Holthauser?
James Holthauer. He actually writes a sports betting column for The Athletic.
So if what Phil's saying is true, that Wheel of Fortune doesn't let someone stay on longer than a week, like, isn't that the whole point, that you want a guy who's going to be there for like months at a time, breaking records and winning millions of dollars? Like, isn't that kind of the fun of it?
Just give me 3 new people every time.
Well,
Nolan's an Indy. Sorry.
I would say the only time we talk about Wheel of Fortune is when it was 1988. I've never had a conversation about Wheel of Fortune.
I disagree. I have seen so many videos of people saying "flew on the wall" or something along those lines. That there was one from Indiana. It was like the college version.
Okay, when's the last time you guys sat and watched a whole episode of Wheel of Fortune?
Well, it comes on right after Jeopardy, so they got you.
Anything anymore? I just watch everything on Twitter at this point.
Yeah.
When was the last time I watched a full football game? Even the Jets game this weekend, I stopped in the third quarter once.
Well, you in America. Nolan is in Indy. Nolan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Doing fantastic. What do you got?
Well, I do want to say, like, Walter Payton, Sean Payton, Gary Payton, like, when you say Payton, everybody's thinking Peyton Manning. If you say Archie, like 50-50 people might say, like, Bunker or Archie Manning. But you say Peyton, everybody's thinking Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the game show, you guys said you had like your own spinning wheel.
Yeah.
Like I think you guys are jumping the gun a little bit, like looking for new jobs. I thought I was listening to a game show. I'm listening to two clowns on the radio with their big feet stomping.
Thank you, Nolan. We got the point. So I like that Nolan chimed in on our Peyton because I didn't actually think about Gary Payton.
Yeah, because
Bad
we're talking
job
about
out of me.
Yeah, it's funny. We were talking about an ex-coach calling out Aaron Rodgers, and Gary Payton didn't come to mind. That's weird that you didn't think about him. What do you mean? A little context
Gary
clue.
Payton is like down on the list now for Paytons after Peyton Manning. That seems unfair.
No. Because they're different contexts. You don't compare sports here. The reason I'm saying you don't call, hey, did you see that game Wilson had on Monday night?
Yeah.
There's too many Wilsons. That's why you don't call him Wilson.
Yeah, you don't think it's Wilson Chandler. Sorry, I had to
Yeah.
dig there. I don't even know if he's still in the league. 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. Okay. This story about Arch Manning's recruitment was fascinating to me. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but The Athletic did this really deep dive. And when I say that, it's like you have to put in like FOIA requests. That's an acronym for Freedom of Information Act. Because Texas is a state school, you can actually ask and request itemized like receipts about what they spend their money on. And intrepid reporters got basically the TikTok of the entire weekend of Arch Manning's recruitment. And man, this thing looks like it was the best party weekend you will ever have in your life. Perloff, they're staying in a 5-star, the Four Seasons in Austin.
Okay.
So it was not just Arch, it was also 8 other recruits and family members who got to come around. So this is Arch and the other kids. $50,000 for 34 rooms that they booked for recruits, the family members, other things like that, going for $420 a pop. You got a lunch buffet, just the lunch buffet, that clocked in at $17,000, and then another $2,000 just on custom cakes and snacks. Then they go into the stadium after they get this big buffet, and they go and take photos. So they put Arch and the other kids in Texas stuff and go do this whole big photo shoot. They figured out in the past this was a place that used to be kind of a lull where, you know, family had to wait for one person to get their photo and the next person. So they now have 8 different places where they're doing photos at all times simultaneously. Then you go to the dinner, okay? The dinner itself was the cocktails, the beer, wine, everything, including ice sculpture, cost $30,000 just for the dinner for the recruits, okay? Apparently more than 40 glasses of Tito's vodka, Casamigos Blanco tequila, variety of whiskeys. Someone even ordered a $70 glass of Johnny Walker Blue.
Hopefully Arch, who's underage, was not drinking any of that.
I don't think so. $6,000 worth of liquor, $800 worth of hors d'oeuvres. You had... That was just that one night. Then you get up for the breakfast. If you could see straight, you get up for the breakfast the next day. And you go do this whole other Longhorns experience. They take the kids to Top Golf. Saturday night, you get a dinner cruise with another parent social. So you have all the family members who are, you know, basically gallivanting. 46 7-ounce lobsters, 34 bone-in ribeyes, 26 8-ounce fillets, 17 New York strips. You get sea bass, chicken, you get lobster, you get a tomahawk ribeye that rang up to $135 that one guy ordered. $37,000 just for the dinner cruise. Is this not fascinating to anyone else?
We're getting a little in the weeds here, but yeah, it sounds amazing. I'm just lost fantasizing about all this food.
Who says no to Texas? How do they lose anybody if this is the red carpet they're rolling out?
This is what happens at every school. Haven't you seen in 1988 Johnny B. Good with Anthony Michael Hall? This is what happens at every school in recruitment.
I've been thinking about Old Tex and Johnny B. Good from the second Maggie started talking. That's the only... we all know what recruiting's like. We've seen Anthony Michael Hall and Johnny B. Good.
Yeah, but like you're thinking
Old Tex put him on a private jet.
And a Lexus?
You get a tractor. That's not a $30,000 dinner.
Well, you probably get that too.
Well, okay. I am actually curious.
Then you get breakfast at Sark's house. Sorry.
Was there any extracurricular things? Like, did they take the young men to a bar?
Yeah.
Did they take them possibly to an adult establishment, a strip joint?
So they yada that. That doesn't get itemized.
Yada yada the best part
because there's
they
also
yada over the and then the kids and then the recruits were taken out on the town is what they
right,
said.
because we have the He Got Game recruiting story.
Yeah, well, that's a famous scene.
Yeah, which, by the way, was confirmed as absolute reality by Louisville. So,
yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, you're right.
That sounds amazing. But I'm too lost in the fantasy of eating all this food and being on these. Yeah, I just wonder, doesn't LSU and Alabama do the same thing, maybe?
Well, I don't know, because nobody has dug into the FOIA request to try to see how much tomahawk steak everybody's eating.
Yeah, they should do that. I'm curious, because if that's all it took to get Arch Manning, that seems like an easy investment.
That's all it took. $280,000 weekend.
280, yeah, for a player that's probably going to end up costing local entrepreneurs about $9 million.
No, he's going to bring it all back. I get it. But
no,
do
I'm
you
saying
think
they're going to have to pay him $9 million more in NIL to finish the deal.
Stick around. Do you think that Alabama feels like they have to do anything like this, or do you think that Alabama, just by virtue of you come to our program, you're going to be on the #1 team in the country most likely, you're most likely going to play for a national championship or at least be in the college football playoff? I don't know if they have to roll out this kind of red carpet.
Oh, I have no idea. Don't know anything inside, but I bet you they've been doing this for years. I bet you all of them.
No, a nice dinner I get, but like, do you have to do? I mean, this is a lot. $280,000 for a weekend to host 8 people.
Well, the things
That's
you described, the things and their families. Yeah, I don't know.
You get 4 people with you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I sense that the elite programs might do a lot of this. No.
I don't know if it's to this extent. This seemed pretty opulent to me.
Yeah, I mean,
fun. Listen, have a weekend. You get the parents, hammered on Tito's, and all of a sudden, Billy's going to Texas.
This is why Nick Saban is constantly talking about, NILs is going to kill parity. No. It's going to kill Alabama's parity or ability to dominate.
I don't think it's going to kill Alabama's ability. The NIL, I don't think, is a problem. I just wonder if Alabama feels like they have to do this.
Well, so we just saw a stat that Alabama, for the 6th straight year, has the most alums on an NFL roster. I think that's their selling point.
That's the selling point. That's the John Calipari selling point. Like, come here and I will send you to the NFL. I mean, Texas did not have one player drafted in the 2022 NFL draft.
Yeah, I can't imagine that anybody rolls out the red carpet as well as Alabama. I'll bet you they have their own, maybe not that expensive, but it must be pretty impressive. You don't think they've been the #1 recruiting class on and off for 12 years now? They must roll out.
Oh, I'm sure it's posh. But is it $280,000 for a weekend posh? I don't know.
I bet you there's crazy stuff going around. What do you think Oregon does? That's what they're really.
Well, they can just give you a lot of free gear.
That's, by the way, all that stuff at Texas sounds great. You throw out a free tracksuit and 10 pairs of sneakers.
3 pair of Jordans.
I don't know
if
I could.
You are going to Oregon.
I don't know if I could say no to that. So, yeah, that is really, really interesting. But I'm curious. We had to compare it to the top SEC. I'll bet you A&M spends a lot.
You're right though. When you're reading this, it's like it kind of feels like it's more for the parents.
By the way, everything was for the parents.
Yeah, I mean, all the food, like, that's something. I don't know. If I'm 18 years old, do I really care about a 7-ounce lobster tail? Maybe I do, but maybe I'm also more interested in just going out, having fun, friends.
I'm very curious too. Was this all Arch specific? Was it like, could they prove that they spent $280 on Arch? Was it $180 for the last set of recruits? I'm curious.
Yeah, maybe they didn't get the dinner cruise on the last one.
Yeah.
You're just going to stay on land.
Here comes Arch.
And I feel like dinner cruise, in and of itself, just kind of feels like an older family thing. A booze cruise, different story. A party cruise.
I think it also was a booze cruise.
But a dinner, yeah.
By the receipts, it seems like it was also pretty boozy. But I don't know. I'm not sure. Let's go to the phones. 855-212-4CBS. Quickly, Scott is in California. Hey, Scott, how's it going?
Hey, guys. Hey, you know what? I actually been listening to you guys for a while, and I actually make a point to tune into you because I don't know. You just you make great points. I'm Total Jeopardy, and Mr. Perloff, you just scored major points because Wheel of Fortune's kind of entertainment, and Jeopardy. One of the coolest things you can ever do is when the 3 contestants miss the question, but you got it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you do the Billy Madison. I am the smartest man alive. Yes.
Yeah.
I just had a couple points. I really enjoyed watching Arrogant Rogers' face last weekend when my Vikings.
Did you call him Arrogant Rogers? Well done.
I heard someone saw that. Someone said that, and I think it's funny. But anyway, he's been a bane of my existence for a while as a Viking fan. But on November 13th, Maggie, the Bills go against the Vikings, and we're both 0-4 in the Super Bowl, and we both got good teams this year. I just wanted to take your take on how about this? Michael Irvin on the national broadcast picked Kirk Cousins to be the MVP this year. If you have any comment on that, but other than that, the Bills Vikings on November 13th, I'm going after you, Maggie.
All right, Scott. Well, appreciate it. Thank you. Kirk Cousins for MVP, says Michael Irvin. I actually had a slightly different spin on this. I picked Justin Jefferson as my long shot MVP candidate, and I'm feeling pretty good about that. I mean, it was plus 6,500 on DraftKings, so obviously it's a long shot. But I thought Cooper Kupp in his big season sort of got voters thinking, hey, a wide receiver could win MVP. Obviously, they gave it to Aaron Rodgers. But look at just the first game with Jefferson.
Amazing, yeah.
Cover the guy. He was incredible. If he puts up these insane numbers, I don't see why he wouldn't be in the conversation.
Gosh, it is funny. On the Irvin front, you put up these graphics. It's got Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Herbert, Allen, and then there's Kirk Cousins. You're like, what the heck is Kirk Cousins doing on this MVP graphic?
Yeah, right. You're like, what is Michael Irvin storing?
I give a much better chance to Justin Jefferson because he's a bit of an outlier. He's a unique, you know. Kirk Cousins, there's no way. What would he have to do to be MVP? Because we don't trust his numbers anyway.
I think he would have to go in and save people from a burning building. I kid you not. He would have to do something really heroic.
Yeah.
855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. Okay, coming up next, the one person in the NFL that needs some positive mojo going into week 2. We'll tell you who's going to move from the doghouse to the penthouse. Our predictions next. Time for a CBS Sports Update. Here is Rich Ackerman.
CBS Sports Radio.
Well, the Cowboys have already lost Dak Prescott for several weeks with a thumb injury. Receiver Michael Gallup also out this weekend due to a knee injury, while the Bucs won't have Chris Godwin due to a knee, a hamstring, while tackle Donovan Smith is also unlikely to play due to an elbow injury. Texans center Justin Britt is out due to personal reasons, and Shaq Leonard's season debut following back surgery will have to wait another week. He has been ruled out once again. The Chargers still waiting on results of Justin Herbert's test today. X-rays last night on his injured ribs were negative. The Mets take a one-game lead over the Braves in the NL East into tonight's action. They continue their series against the Pirates, looking for back-to-back wins, while the Braves are back home to open a series against the Phillies, who currently hold the second wild card in the National League. Braves hoping to get a spark from the return of Ozzie Albies, who's activated from the injured list. The White Sox have pulled within 3 games of the Guardians in the AL Central and meet the Tigers in Detroit, while Cleveland will host Minnesota. There's one game this afternoon at Wrigley. It is now a final. The Cubs defeated the Rockies by a score of 2-1 as Zach McKinstry with a home run to put them ahead for good. I'm Rich Ackerman.
This is Jim Rome. CBS Sports Radio has moved to Sirius XM Channel 158, and you can always listen to us on your local station, the Odyssey app, or your smart speaker.
CBS Sports Radio.
95.9 FM, Nashville Sports Radio 560.
O'Reilly Auto Parts is here to keep your car on the road with the right parts, advice from their professional parts people, and their free loaner tool program. There is no need to purchase a tool if you're only going to use it once. Your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store has more than 80 specialty tools available to rent for your next repair. Refundable deposit required at the time of rental. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today and ask about their free loaner tool program, or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. You're driving along and some nimrod cuts you off. You hit the horn. Jeez, it sounds like a goose in distress. Time to head over to eBay Motors. They have horns for every make and model, not to mention horn pads, steering wheels, wiring, and more. 122 million parts. You can even go for an upgrade. Looks like Mr. Cutoff Man needs a new seat cover. Try eBay Motors, pal. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required. Refund available for 60 days after purchase.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Results are guaranteed or your money back. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Located at 5410 Murfreesboro Road in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers is one-stop shopping for all your liquor, beer, and wine needs and has been a multiple winner annually in the Best of Rutherford County voting for Best Liquor Store and Top Wine Shop. Featuring the lowest prices, the best customer service with unsurpassed knowledge, City Slickers offers the largest craft beer selection in Rutherford and southeastern Davidson counties and has beer on tap at its Growler filling station. City Slickers also sells mixers, sodas, snacks, tobacco products, and the Tennessee Lottery, and can place special orders and assist with all your events and even wedding planning. Make sure you follow City Slickers on all their social media or just give them a call at 615-280-7469. That's 615-280-7469. Located in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers.
Attention homeowners that have ever had a broken appliance. That's a joke, right? We've all had broken appliances. I own a home just like you and have found a way for as little as $1 a day to have all the major appliances in my home on a warranty plan. They're guaranteed to be fixed or replaced. You know how expensive an air conditioner, the heating system, a washing machine, dryer, water heater, or refrigerator can be. For about $1 a day, all your major appliances are protected in case they break. Unless you're Daddy Warbucks or the Monopoly guy and you don't care about money, call my friends at the Home Service Club now and get a warranty on your major appliances. It's a free call and the first month is free. But be one of the first 25 people to call within the next 10 minutes.
800-870-6217. 800-870-6217. 800-870-6217. That's 800-870-6217.
Join us Friday night, September 16th for WNSR's Mid-State Checkdown High School Football Game of the Week. It's Columbia Academy at Donaldson Christian. High school football coverage begins at 6:15 with Murphy Fair's Matchups Preview Show. Pre-game coverage of Columbia Academy at DCA commences at 6:45, followed by our Mid-State Checkdown High School Football Scoreboard Show. After the game, hosted by Bruno, Reagan, Ray Dosky, and Devlin McKenzie. It's Columbia Academy at DCA, right here on Nashville Sports Radio.
Plus so much more. There's a reason why Omaha Steaks has been the leader of gourmet steaks since 1917. No one, and I mean no one, comes close to matching the flavor, tenderness, and value of Omaha Steaks. Go to omahasteaks.com and enter Sizzle into the search bar. You'll get a special price on the All-American assortment, and as a tasty bonus, you'll also get 12 ultra-juicy Omaha Steaks burgers for free. That's omahasteaks.com, keyword Sizzle.
Hey Nashville, this is John Burton from News Channel 5. Catch me every morning at 9 on the Greg Pogue and John Burton Show on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
Back on Maggie and Perloff. Hit us up if you want to host Wheel of Fortune, because apparently there's an opening. Maggie, I think you could try out, because Dan Patrick almost did this. You can host a game show and a radio show, because the game show is easy. You get in there, you do about 9 episodes in a day.
Yeah.
So it takes about 30 days a year to do Wheel of Fortune. Do you think you have the stuff that you'd be a great game show host? You're
I would
good
love
with
to be
people.
a game show host. I think I have the enthusiasm. Pat Sajak did an interview, said he can see the end is coming.
Yeah.
So after Alex Trebek sadly passed away, it was a huge deal to try to replace him. I imagine it'd be a really big deal to replace Sajak, too.
Yeah, I think it's a lot easier, that's for sure, because Jeopardy, Dan Patrick at Sports Jeopardy said it was nearly impossible. You had to keep track of which spots were gone. There was so much going on. Alex Trebek was a master, made it look a lot easier. And then pronunciation. Do you think it's hard to do NFL names? Try Ancient Mesopotamia.
No, I don't even try like the Denver Broncos tight end. He's Albert O to
Albert,
me, and will be forever. And same thing with Tua. I'm staying away. 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4CBS.